Hey there. Another week already. My gosh. So before we get too started here, a couple of things. One, we have the Reclaiming Intensive that's coming on up on September 9th. 4 weeks. The investment is $84.99, and that is one-on-one calls with me. No homework, no modules. There may be some practices that I give you in between calls to help move those energies and heal those energies out of your body. And it's a private space, and I hear so many stories from people and I love them all. September 9th, I'll leave some details down in the show notes, and that's that for that one. I am hoping that the sound quality is good today. I do have my neighbors right on the other side of this wall, probably not even 30 feet from me, putting up new siding. So there's a lot of sawing, a lot of hammering, a lot of joking, a lot of laughing. So hopefully you don't hear any of that because I hear it all. So, okay, let's get started. So if you've been listening to this podcast for a while now, maybe you've been following very quietly, saving the episodes, thinking about them, feeling recognized, like, yeah, that's exactly me. That is how I feel. I know that well. Some part of you knows this work is for you. Somewhere in your heart, in your gut, our body tells us, right? But you haven't quite taken that step yet. And I get that. I want you to know something important before we go any further today. That hesitation you're feeling, that slight tightening in your chest when you think about actually starting, is that voice saying, I want this, but what if? I want this, but what if, I'm embarrassed, or if I can't get the words out, or what someone else will think. Those are stories your mind's telling you. They are absolutely stories. Trust your heart, trust your gut. Sometimes it feels a little scary. I know. I go through that from time to time myself. When my heart and my gut says, let's do this, I do the thing. And it's always, always been for my good and my expansion. And yes, my healing and so many other things too. So yeah, is your voice saying, I want this, but what if? And evidence, and that's not really evidence that you're not ready, but that is, like I said, that's really a part of fear that comes in when we start to make some of those important decisions. I'm Terry Kashan, your empathic guide. And today we are going somewhere that I think needs to be said out loud because not enough people say it. We talk about healing like it's something, we want, we go get, everybody's talking about it, healing this, healing this, healing this. And those are great things. And we do want it. And do we rarely talk about the very real, very understandable fear that shows up right at the doorstep of it? Because I'm telling you, I had it. So I'll give you a bit of a story. When I first started my healing, I wanted this. And yes, I asked myself all these questions. What if I'm embarrassed? What if the words don't come out? What if she doesn't understand? What if she thinks I'm a terrible person? All those things played in my mind. They really did. But somewhere deep in my body, I knew I had to get on that call and I had to take that first step. And yes, it was scary. And it felt new, like that unknown, not anything I'd ever done before. But I wanted this so much that I had to do the thing. So that's kind of some of my backstory. And for today, we're going to talk about a woman who was scared to heal because she didn't want to. Because somewhere in her body, it was beginning to feel dangerous. And I sit with her in that because she deserves to have someone say, I see you and I understand why. So last week, we talked about learning to trust yourself again, about how self-trust isn't built through the big leaps, but through the small, consistent moments of honoring what you already know, around our childhood memory gaps. Those gaps can create a little bit of a balance of maybe not trusting ourselves, right? That internal trust. And I want to ask you something. Did that episode land in your body? Did something in your body, in you, say, yes, that's me? And then did you feel something underneath that? Something like kind of like a dread or a resistance. So you could feel like resistance. And what I've learned through resistance, there's usually a fear component behind that, or a dread, or a feeling of, I don't know how to begin. How do I do that? And that comes with also some self-judgment by yourself too. And I'm not judging anyone. I did the same thing. I truly did. That was my story. I would judge myself all over the place, especially on a new healing path when I had something more come up. And my body was telling me, there's another layer. Let's work on this other layer. It's time. Or even the feeling of, I really want this, but I actually don't know how to begin. You are in so the right place for this. Okay. Because that feeling has a name. Maybe it's far more common than you think. Healing feels scary because your nervous system was built to protect you, what it knows. Even when what it knows is pain, we will go for the pain, the uncomfortable, because it is a known feeling versus the unknown. That's how our brains work because we know what's coming. Even when we know it's exhaustion, smallness, and how that starts to erode at us and we start to self-abandon, we'll still take the road. Our nervous system doesn't distinguish between familiar but painful and safe. It just knows that we've done it before. It's a known action and it's kept us alive. And anything different, even something better, it can register as fear, as a threat. And it's real. Allow yourself to feel that, please. And fear does sit on the doorstep of healing. But it's not saying don't go in. It's saying I've never done this before and I'm a little nervous and that's okay. So here's a few reasons of why healing feels scary. Just from my perspective, okay, what I've been through. What if I start feeling and I can't stop? What if it's too much? What if I open something that cannot be closed again? I am telling you up front, that was me. So me of, do I really want to go down this road? Do I really want to uncover something that might be too much? What happens if I can't handle it? But here's also what I've learned. It comes in layers, and I've talked about this so much. What's coming up is what we're ready to heal. Okay. And then we go through that healing. We integrate and we sit in that. And, somewhere down the road, there could be something else that comes up, another layer to that experience. And your body's saying, okay, it's time. Let's do this again. And that's so much a part of my work and also so much a part of my experience. Yes, healing involves feeling. Absolutely. And sometimes those things you worked very hard, consciously or not, to keep safe at a distance. Grief, anger, fear, shame, self-worth, self-judgment, things that were too big and too fearful to be allowed to feel at the time they were happening. So we kept pushing it away and we push it away until, at some point in time, it's going to come bubbling up. It really is. And it is a signal that your body needs to heal those energies. We need to heal those energies, move them out in a safe and subtle but effective way. So effective. And that is what somatic healing has taught me. And what I want to pass on to you. The feelings aren't permanent. They're energy, and energy wants to move, right? And when you learn to feel that support at a pace your nervous system can actually receive and feel safe with someone holding that space with you, for you, so the feelings don't consume you and you have support in that room so those feelings can move through you. And what you find on the other side, it's not more darkness. It's space. It's breath. It's a sense of peace. And a lot of times relief. Every time I would pass through an energy to the other side and of what I was working through, it was relief. It really was. And each time I would see that little inner child inside of me become happier and happier and happier and not hiding all the time and being sad. We do so much hold those energies inside us. And fear of feeling is not a sign you can't handle it. It's a sign that for a very long time you've had to handle it alone. And alone, it just feels like too much. But we can change that part. Second reason, you're afraid that healing means you're going to go back through everything. I have found that not to be true in my case, but it is also a very common belief. I had the same thing. I really don't want to relive all of this. but I didn't. And I still healed and I still evacuated those feelings. I needed to let go. And believing that and living with this, it can be just so exhausting. And that's not what this work is. Somatic healing doesn't ask you to tell the story again, to relive it. It's asking you to feel what is alive in your body right now, today, in this moment. You don't need a clear memory to heal from something. You don't even need to name the memory. Sometimes we just can't name it. It's either a memory gap for some reason from childhood or extreme trauma, or you just can't get it out. And that's okay. Sometimes it just doesn't have a name, does it? You don't need to reconstruct every detail of what happened. You really don't. You need to be willing to notice what your body's holding, though, and begin to let it move and to let it move out of you and not stay inside you. Some of the most profound shifts that I have witnessed in my own healing and other women that I have been so honored to sit with, they come through a single breath that goes somewhere it hasn't been able to go in years. A release in the shoulders that's been held for decades. A moment fully seen without having to explain anything first. A feeling, a shift within your body as those feelings move out of you. I had someone actually relay it as we were going through it a couple of weeks ago as like a pop in their head and an expansion in their heart. And those are energies moving out of your body and releasing parts of your body to feel again, to release, to just relief. And it's a beautiful thing to watch. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing to experience. When I have those types of shifts in my healing, oh, powerful and relieving and so amazing. And that's what I want for you. And that's where we can begin. And here's the third reason. And I had this one too. You're afraid it won't work for you. And that can live deep, deep, deep inside us. It could be that because of something we heard from maybe family members, friends, culture, we're supposed to have it all together and we're just supposed to know how to fix things. I think sometimes, as women, we're told so many stories, but no, it's okay. You're afraid it won't work for you because something within you can't be fixed, maybe. Look, I don't think we need to be fixed, and I don't think we're broken. Those two phrases just absolutely set me on edge because when you say those words enough, those words have power. Our words have energy. And when we use words like that, those energies can sit in our bodies and then our minds starts formulating stories around it. So healing, it is possible for other women and for you. Please don't tell yourself the story that, that's possible for everyone else, but me, yep, nope, not so much. I understand where it came from, why you would believe that, because I myself, again, had those same feelings and I was proven wrong. And I'm glad I was. I was absolutely thrilled I was proven wrong. And it's been, you may feel that like, gosh, it's been way too long and you've tried before and nothing has worked. I don't know what you tried. I know what I've tried in the past. I know what I tried in the past and didn't work. And I know what I've tried and did work. And that's why I bring what I feel would work for you as well. I have different modalities that we try. Not everything is for everybody. That's why we have different pieces to work on and what feels good in your body. Sometimes this is a big piece of sometimes of why you might feel this won't work for you. And I had this for a long time. And that is often that fear that we have that it won't work for us because it's been around too long. Sometimes it's the wound itself speaking. And it's a part of you that has learned that it just wasn't worth the effort to try and heal. That it's been around. It's not going anywhere. I've learned to live with it all this time. It's fine. It's all fine. It's all good. I would ask you to reconsider that. That can come from a part of you that was telling yourself, it's just not worth the effort. It feels too vulnerable. I can't do this. Maybe of being overlooked. That your feelings were too much. That your needs were too inconvenient and your healing, it just wasn't a priority. So you kept backburnering it. I did that. I used my kids as an excuse. I used a new marriage as an excuse. I found ways, trust me, to find an excuse until there wasn't anything left. I had to do the thing. And then we start to doubt whether anything really could change for us, right? And then that starts to resonate in the body. And then we start telling other stories, right? But all those doubts, that's not the truth. But that is the wound talking to you and telling you stories. And wounds can move. Those energies we've been holding on to, we can see them, we can feel them, and we can let them move within our bodies. I had someone recently tell me that I was working with for just a few short weeks. I physically and emotionally feel more evolved and different. And I was so honored to sit with her and watch her evolve. And when I say a few short weeks, I mean a few short weeks. And the change was real. I could watch it. I could feel her energy from the day we started to her last call. So very different and so beautiful. And you're not an exception. You aren't. Your body was designed to heal. It just needs permission from you and support from me. So before we close today, I want to offer you something simple, something you can do right here, right now. Find a comfortable position wherever you're at. But if you're driving, keep your eyes on the road and just let your body soften a little bit, okay? But be safe. If you're sitting, let your feet flat on the floor. Feel the weight of your body in the chair. Feel your bum sitting in the chair. And just soften. Take one breath through your nose, slowly. Let it out through your mouth. Now I want you to simply notice, where is that fear living in your body right now? Don't analyze it. Don't tell its story. Just feel it. Is it in your chest, your throat, your stomach? Is it in your shoulders? Could be in lots of different places. Just feel it and recognize it. Place a hand gently on that place and I'll put it on my throat. And instead of trying to change it or move it or make it go away, just say quietly, just for yourself, I see you. I know why you're here and you've been keeping me safe. And then very softly, ask it one question. Is it possible that I might be safe enough right now to take one small step? You don't need an answer today. Just ask the question, and that's enough. So before we close off, next week, we're going to have a different kind of conversation, a more personal one. I want to talk to you about what it actually looks like in the body, not just the mind, to choose yourself, maybe for the first time. And I want to tell you about something that is opening on September 9th. We started the podcast with that. And I think it has been made exactly for the woman who's been listening to these episodes. Until then, be gentle with your fear this week. It's not your enemy. It's a part of you, and it hasn't felt safe yet. You're listening to Beyond the Shadow, the somatic path to reclaiming you. And I'm Terry, and I'll see you next week. Take amazing care of yourself.